but nevertheless, welcome to the Ayatollah Khomeini show. I just looked at myself in the reflection. It looks like you're watching Taliban Central. I tell you, we must kill the infidels. Listen, just to talk about something that maybe you've thought about, maybe you haven't, but every one of us, every human being is given an allotment of time. You know what it is? It's 24 hours a day. No one gets more, no one gets less, and it's 7 days a week. We have that allotment of time, 24/7, every day of the week that we live. And we're given these exact periods, and of course in those we have to sleep, and we have to eat, and what we choose to drink, and we have a little bit extra time that is left to work, and then to socialize, and all these other things that come about being a human being, right? It's really funny if you just allow yourself to look at your life this way. I have been given, Shawn McCraney, 7 24-hour periods with which to live my life. And however many weeks I live, that is what my life will amount to. Now, in this 24/7 model, I would suggest that how we approach the activities of our life determines the content of our heart. So if your heart is truly kind, and if your heart is truly loving, then you will approach your activities. And I'm not saying everyone has to have the same activity. God forbid. We need trashmen. We need astronauts. We need doctors. We need gardeners. We need everybody, right? So I'm not saying there's some special thing you need to do in order to be right with God. But how do you appropriate the hours you've been given? And how do you appropriate yourself in those activities that you're doing? And I really think, I could cite some scriptures, but I really do believe that at the end of it all, we will be accountable, maybe not so much for what we did, maybe in some cases, but mostly how we did what we did. You know? And so someone who sells pencils on the corner, if they are, you know, full of love and they're happy with what they're doing, and they're selling a pencil to a guy, I think I'm taking this from a movie I saw, and there's a guy in a suit and he goes up to a high-rise office and he's a big, powerful attorney and he's a jerk all day long. In the end, it's not who was the powerful attorney and who made the most money, it's how they appropriated themselves in the activities they choose to do. And that's the other thing. What we choose to do with the free time we get, and there's not really that much when you think about how we do have to labor and we do have to do other activities as we mature. But with the extra time, it's indicative of what our heart's about. It really, truly is. So someone who spends all of their free time, whatever that might be, doing things that are just for themselves, not for anyone else, not pursuing God at all, is showing the content of their heart. They are showing it through their life lived in the 24/7 periods. And so if you are able to kind of sit back and look at your life, you can do a self-assessment. You can say, this is where my heart is. It's evidenced by the things I have decided to spend my time on, and the way I have approached doing these things, I have decided to spend my life on. Just because you choose to go to church every day, there's some Catholics, they go to church every day and they pray the rosary and they do Mass every day. I know some. Every morning they go and do that. But just because someone does that doesn't necessarily mean that their heart is truly right with God. It's God will know, He'll know, and will know by virtue of what the content of our life is. In retrospect, looking back over it, we will know, I think, just as God will know. And I don't think there's going to be any question as to, what happens next for us. I think we will be pretty sure about what happens next. And I don't mean in terms of a punishment or in terms of a glory. I just think we kind of are creating our own eternality here. And I think it is in and through the expression of the contents of our heart through what we do with our 24/7 periods. Out!